Today I'm going to show you how to make this chipmunk wood art. The materials cost about $5 and it takes about an hour of your time. The backboard is around $2.50, the frame's a little over $1.50, and the wood for the chipmunk itself is around $1 for a total of $5. And this took me about an hour to make, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. It's a great project, so let's get to it. So we start, as we always do, with the pattern, and I glue it onto the wood that I'm going to cut out, and then I take it to the scroll saw. And as always, the patterns are available in our Etsy shop if that's something you're interested in. The link is in the description below. So I just begin cutting it out. But before we get into that, hi, I'm Donna, and welcome to Ideas to I Did It. On our channel, we like to show you woodworking projects that we've created and we've made and that have sold really well for us at a high profit. This project, like I said earlier, it costs around $5, takes about an hour, and it sells for $50. For us, that's a really good return on investment, and that's a high profit margin. So it's relatively easy to do. I use scrap wood for the most part. This is a piece of, I think, 3/4 inch pine. And so I just begin by cutting out all the different pieces on the scroll saw. And if I was doing this on smaller pieces, you could cut the pattern up as well and then just glue the pieces onto the pattern. I just had one piece that fit the whole thing, so I'm just doing it as one cutout. I'm a firm believer in wood art for making money. It is a fantastic way to express yourself creatively. It can cover any topic, and it is relatively cheap to make because generally it's out of scrap wood, and it sells really well for us. So I really hope you'll give it a try. I hope it's something you're interested in, and if it is, check out our website, ideas2ididit.com, and if you sign up for our newsletter, we will email you a free wood art project so you could give it a try and see if it's something that you like. So here I'm just staining the pieces, and when I do a project, I always look at it as I have a light, medium, and dark stain, and that's the basis of building some of the dimension in the piece. And then I like to take it a step further, and I like to do some shadow work. It's not necessary, but I really like it. I feel it adds a lot to the piece, and I'm a painter. I've been a painter for many years, so I really enjoy this part of it. So all I do is take some acrylic paint, some black and some brown, and really water it down. And then I'm going to really start to build the shadows and the dimension where the cuts are and where there would naturally be a shadow on the piece. Like, for instance, under the animal's chin, there'd be a shadow on the body, or where he's holding the acorn, there'd be a shadow on the hand. So I like to really build that up. I really think it adds to the dimension of the piece and just adds an extra touch, but it's by no means necessary. The piece looks great on its own. With this particular one, you will notice I'm also going to paint on the eyes and the nose. You could cut those out if you want it. I really enjoy painting again, and I really enjoy painting, so I like to paint the faces, but you could definitely cut it out if you would prefer to do that. If you wanted to see more on the technique of doing the shadows, I do have a full tutorial on the channel that you could watch where it goes through it step by step in real time. So it would definitely show you the process. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We love to hear from you. We're really trying to build this community here. It's been wonderful. Everyone's been so supportive, and it's been a really great time. So if you would like to be part of it, please subscribe, leave your comments, join the newsletter on our website, and we'd love to have you along. And so here you'll see I'm really building up the dimension here around the belly to really give it that extra. It almost gives it the curve, and you could see where I did it on the back foot. It really puts that foot towards the back. It just adds so much dimension, and it's really, really easy to do. If you do put the watered down paint on and it's not where you wanted it, or it's too dark, or it's not what you expected it to be, if you do go right at it with your fluffy brush that's wet, you can pretty much remove it all. So it's definitely user-friendly and beginner-friendly, and you should definitely try it, experiment with it, and see. I think you'd be really pleased with the results. This would be a great beginner project as well. It's relatively simple. It only has a handful of pieces, and that makes it easier to use. And when I look at these little chipmunks, they just remind me of spring. And we're in Nova Scotia in the heart of winter right now, and I am really looking forward to the spring. And so I thought this was just a cute little project to do, put a little smile on your face. And it's just a fun little symbol to me of spring and what's to come. So I hope it gives you a little smile as well. Okay, so I'm just putting the face on now. As you can see, I'm just painting the nose and the eyes. And you'll see here in a moment, I make a mistake because I'm just freehanding all of this. I don't have anything drawn on. You could trace the pattern easily just with graphite paper. I just tend to do everything freehand. But you'll see when I go to do the eyes, I put it in a place where I'm not pleased with. And I can remove the entire thing just by using the wet brush. So I really hope that gives you confidence to try this, and you can always remove what you don't like if you catch it quick enough. So you'll see it's just coming up. I'll start doing the eye and then I make the mistake. It happens. I like to glue my pieces together as at least in chunks. Like you can see I have the body and the acorn glued together, but I've left the tail off. But the two pieces of the tail are glued too. I just find it easier to be able to do my shadow work, and then I can just glue the big pieces onto the backing. And here, so I'm doing the eyes, and they're just like an oval shape. So I'm actually using the back of my paintbrush. It just gives you a really clean line. And so it's just black paint. So I put the first one on, and then I put the second one on, and I quickly realized it's in the wrong spot. So I come in with just some water. Well, I'm gonna try to fix it before I realize it's wrong. And now I realize it's wrong. And I'm just gonna put lots of water down on it. And the reason this works is because my wood is already stained, so it has somewhat of a finish on it. And you can see it just wiped clear away. And now I can redo the eye in the proper position. And Chris has made the frame for this using his 2x4 technique. It's a technique he came up with where you basically get a frame for one of these wood art pieces for roughly $1, $1.50, and they look fantastic. So there is a separate video on that. If you want to check that out, I'll link it. So here's the finished piece. We hope you like it, and thank you so much for spending time with us. Have a fantastic day.